Meeting will now come to order. Please rise for Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Irby? Here. Councilmember Page?
Here.
Councilmember Wassinger? Here. Councilmember O'Mara? Councilmember Dolan?
Here.
6th Council District seat is vacant. Councilmember Harder?
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Move for the approval of journal meeting of February 17, 2015.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion carries. The journal is approved. We have no bid openings this evening, so we will move to communications.
Mr. Chair, there are no tax compromises this evening, so I'll move to zoning matters. Under zoning matters, item number 1, 6th District.
Receive, file, the county council exercise its power of review, and the matter be referred back to the planning commission for further review, and that will be the order.
Moving on to road and bridge matters, Mr. Chair, item number 1, 6th District.
Receive, file, plan specifications, and detailed estimate of cost be approved, and the director of procurement be authorized to advertise for bids as requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 2, 3rd District.
Hold on the order of business, please.
So ordered.
Item number 3, 7th District.
Receive, file, and the bids be rejected as requested, and a copy of the report to be sent to the interested parties.
Second.
Does that
All
require a
those in
vote?
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And motion carries.
Mr. Chair, moving on to other communications, item number 1.
See, file, the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. That will be the order.
Item number 2, 3rd District.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 3, 2nd District.
Receive, file, and deposit agreement, and the subdivision plat be approved as recommended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries.
Item number 4.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
Same motion there.
Same
Go ahead.
motion through item number 6.
That will be the order.
Item number 7, 5th District.
See, file, the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. A copy of this report be sent to the city of Rock Hill. Same motion through item number 8, and that will be the order.
Item number 9, 5th District.
See, file, the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. A copy of this report be sent to the city of Maplewood. Same motion through item number 11, and that will be the order. Please read the add-ons.
Item number 1.
I don't have the add-ons with me. You got the add-ons? Let's see your add-ons. There you go. All right, never mind. Thank you. Receive and file.
Item number 2, all districts.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion through item number 3. That'll be the order. All right. Report of the county executive.
No report this evening.
Okay. We will, I move for the, well, there's a report of special committees on the committee of the whole. I move that the committee of the whole report concerning meetings with staff members from each department of St. Louis County government to review the recommended 2015 fiscal year budget for St. Louis County be received, filed, and adopted as submitted. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Report is adopted. We'll now move to public forum. How many speakers do we have?
13 speakers this evening, Mr. Chair.
13 speakers. All right. We would ask that you would please keep your comments to 3 minutes. And Jen will do the timing and call your names.
First speaker this evening is Robin Daly.
Good evening. Thank you, Council. I've prepared a little something in regards to how Bridgeton landfill has affected my life. How does Bridgeton landfill affect me and my family is a question that one would never think would ever be asked, right? I mean, why ask? It's a landfill where trash is dumped and covered up. But this is not your regular run-of-the-mill regulated landfill. With that being said, there isn't a day that goes by that my husband and I don't talk or worry about what's going on at Bridgeton landfill. About the SSE, the stench, the toxins contained therein, the continual denial by the owner while we seem to be held hostage within our homes. Sadly to say, the BL has permeated our everyday life. We seldom mentioned at the beginning, and when we first moved there in 1999, there was just a regular methane smell, not a problem. But then that has gone full-blown once that SSE was found, and now it is stenching beyond bearable. The perfuming the stench with an odor neutralizer, as has been done by the BL's owners, might help with the smell, but it is not taking care of the toxins that are released in that stench. Just because you are not smelling the stench and you are smelling a perfume does not mean that the toxins are eliminated, because they are not. Even EPA, with their National Ambient Air Quality Standard, has stated that the SO2 that is being released currently by the BL's gas flares contains sulfur dioxides and dimethyl sulfides and hydrogen sulfides beyond what should be there. And still we endure it every day, 24/7, 365 for the past 5 years. It's sad to say this. It's an unnecessary stress that we don't need to have. We moved to Bridgeton in 1999. We were expecting to retire there. By 2010, it all changed. It's like we're having a crapshoot with our lives. We're retired. We don't have an income to be able to do another home loan. We can't even sell our home. Our homes are not even worth what they were. Understanding that the housing bubble happened like it did, and it burst, everybody's home took a hit, but ours was an added hit because of what was being done at that Bridgeton landfill and keeping us there. All I can say is, it's consumed our lives.
Ma'am, can you wrap it up,
Thank you
please?
very much.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Kristen Camuso.
I'm just going to read this so I can get my 3 minutes done. It's kind of wordy. First, I'd like to thank the council for allowing us to address the issue of the Westlake landfill. My name is Kristen Camuso, and I am a long-term Maryland Heights resident. You may recognize me from if you follow the Westlake landfill Facebook page or attend community meetings, but then again, probably not. I am a nobody. We are all nobodies. Our lives do not matter, or at least that is the way we are made to feel by Republic Services and the Environmental Protection Agency. What seems to matter to them is the money. They continue to tell us we are not being exposed to harmful toxins from the underground smoldering event that has been burning for the last 3 or 4 years. I don't know if any of you have had the opportunity to experience the stench firsthand, but I can assure you it's an odor you'll never forget. It stays with you. You can feel it coating your nostrils all the way through to the back of your throat. It's putrid. For me, the odor can only be described as hot chemical death. Unfortunately, this hot chemical death is slowly making its way towards the world's oldest nuclear weapons waste that just happens to be sitting in the adjacent Westlake landfill, to which Republic Services and the EPA also maintain the idea that the underground fire would have no effect on the nuclear waste if the two should ever meet. However, St. Louis County Emergency Management has come to one of the Westlake landfill community meetings and stated that we all should be prepared to shelter in place. And by we, they mean anyone living or working within a 10-mile radius surrounding the landfill, all dependent upon which way the wind is blowing. Please understand, a 10-mile radius encompasses an enormous amount of St. Louis County. This is no longer a Bridgeton problem. This is an entire St. Louis regional problem. Day after day, year after year, the fire only gets closer. They continue to tell us that we are safe and that somehow a chain link fence will protect us from it all. I stand before you as living proof to the contrary. Since 2012, I have had 3 major surgeries and am now living without my gallbladder, my ovaries, my uterus, my adrenal gland, and my thyroid. I just recently found out that I have another tumor on my remaining adrenal gland and a lesion in my liver. My life now revolves around a medicine bottle and body scans. Have you ever looked at an ultrasound and without any medical training been able to tell that something is terribly wrong? Have you ever had a needle put into your throat, thrusting in and out of your neck, collecting cells? Have you ever received that call? Mine came on a Sunday, St. Patrick's Day 2013 to be exact. It's never a good sign when your doctor calls you on a Sunday. It's even worse when they mutter that simple 3-word sentence, "You have cancer." With that said, I realize the unfortunate truth that people are diagnosed with cancer every day, but I also believe no one can conclusively say that our illnesses are not attributed to the landfill and the weapons waste ultimately left behind by the U.S. government. The research, in my opinion, is in its infancy, and it will take decades to get to the truth. We do not have decades to figure it out. For me and many others in my community, the possibility of even the slightest chance, the illnesses... I'm sorry?
If we could wrap it up, please.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
The illnesses are being caused by the nuclear waste that sits in the online landfill next to our waterways, exposed to St. Louis weather and geological conditions. This cause enough for us to seek action. I ask you, would you live in our neighborhoods? Would you live day to day next to a ticking time bomb? Would you send your kids to our schools? I, for one, will no longer take my chances. Unlike many of my new friends fighting these unfortunate circumstances, I have the opportunity to move, and I will. However, I am honestly heartbroken over it. Bridgeton and Maryland Heights are great communities with great schools. We moved here with hopes that one day buying a home and living the long and anticipated, and then living our lives as long as the rest of our lives. I have come to find that we may stay. If we stay, our lives will not be as long as anticipated.
I'm sorry.
Either way, we want it turned over to the United States Army Corps of Engineers. It's a moral obligation.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Cindy Byrd.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I've been a resident of North County for 56 years. I've taught and lived in Florissant for the past 27 years. I raised my daughter there. My father worked for MSD and was in and out of Coldwater Creek often. My father's now deceased from Parkinson's disease, a disease with suspected links to environmental toxins. My daughter, son-in-law, and grandsons now live in Bridgeton. Not only has my daughter been exposed to Coldwater Creek, but now she deals with the radioactive waste at the Westlake landfill owned by the disreputable Republic Services. My younger grandson suffers from alopecia and breathing disorders. Alopecia is an autoimmune disease, again, links to toxins. He has no hair on any part of his body. He did before he moved to Bridgeton. My older grandson cannot play baseball at BMAC for fear of exposure to toxins we know are there because of the testing done not by the government, but by just mom's STL equipment. I'm really tired of North County being the unwanted stepchild of St. Louis County. I've always been a good little Democrat. I voted for Dooley until the last election because he ended up doing nothing for North County except proposing park closures. I supported Executive Stenger in the last election. Here's a perfect opportunity to show you do care about North County. Do something about this travesty and do it now. I will be watching everyone here, and I will be working against all of you in the next election if we are in the same place by the end of your term. It's in your hands now. I hope your hands will be clean in 4 years.
Next speaker is Kathy Bell.
Hello, and thank you for listening.
Good evening.
I'm a resident of Spanish Village subdivision, which is a half-mile from the Bridgeton Westlake landfill. Along with the others, I just want to help you understand what it's like living so close to this dangerous, toxic landfill. We are exposed to horrible odors, along with a mixture of harmful toxins that are carried in those odors. These odors and toxins have caused us headaches, burning eyes and throats, and nosebleeds. These symptoms are very common among those of us that live near the landfill. We live in fear. Fear of another surface fire at the landfill, one of which happened last February. Fear of the many toxins that we are forced to breathe in and the health effects now or in the future that those toxins will have on us. Fear of that underground fire reaching the radioactive waste that is in the adjoining landfill. Fear that that has already happened. Fear of having to be evacuated at any time, or of being told to shelter in place. Our quality of life has been taken away from us, and this is no way to live. This landfill needs immediate action. I am asking you to call upon our federally elected officials to insist on the transfer of authority at the landfill to the St. Louis Army Corps of Engineers FUSRAP Division. They are currently working in St. Louis at other sites with the same radioactive weapons waste that was illegally dumped at the Westlake landfill. This landfill is a disaster waiting to happen and needs to be treated as such. I am also asking for your help in pushing for a buyout for those of us that live within a mile of the landfill. No one should live so close to this mixture of toxic nuclear weapons waste. We do not want to sell our house and put this burden on another family. A buyout is the only true option. Thank you.
Thanks.
Next speaker is Megan Beckerman.
Good evening, Council. Living less than 3 miles from Westlake landfill, I often get told, landfills are everywhere, it can't be that bad. Well, I'm here to tell you it is. Not only do we have radioactive materials illegally dumped here, but we also have an underground landfill fire that is releasing toxic VOCs and a horrible odor, literally forcing us to stay inside our homes and suffer from short-term and long-term health effects. It's so bad that family get-togethers have been canceled. Kids can't play outside because their eyes will water and burn. It's so bad that people won't walk their dogs, can't grow their own fruits and vegetables. It's bad enough that I can no longer allow my 13-year-old to play on his favorite baseball team with his best friends because they play their games at the athletic complex directly downhill from Westlake landfill. Now, let me tell you about some things that occurred within the first year of my family moving into our house less than 3 miles from the landfill. And keep in mind that none of us ever experienced any of these symptoms before our move. As soon as we moved in, the tissue lining the insides of our noses turned raw and scabbed because the tissue was dying. It's called necrosis, and it can be caused by environmental toxins. Also, within the first year after moving into Bridgeton, at 28 years old, I suddenly developed asthma. Then my son was diagnosed with cough variant asthma and prescribed 2 types of breathing treatments and a steroid nose spray. Causes of cough variant asthma? You guessed it, environmental triggers. And now the one that breaks my heart. My baby boy began losing all of his hair. He was diagnosed with alopecia, and now at 5 years old, he doesn't have one single hair on his body. Before we moved to Bridgeton, he did. You see, alopecia is an autoimmune disease caused by exposure to toxins and chemicals which confuse the immune system and cause it to attack a person's tissues, in my son's case, his hair follicles. There are things that must be done to improve this situation and prevent more deaths and illnesses. The land with houses closest to the landfill should have never been zoned residential, especially considering we do not yet know the extent of the radioactive contamination. Keep in mind, it was spread around and moved for years. Therefore, before any shovels hit the ground, I am asking you all to commit to support the immediate relocation of the families within 1 mile of the landfill and property assurance in order to provide long-term protection of property values within 5 miles of the landfill, all at Republic's expense. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Debbie Disser.
Hi. Thank you for listening to us, Council. My name is Debbie Disser. I grew up in Berkeley. I played on the Berkeley Quarry Field where the Coldwater Creek cancers occurred. I lost my brother to glioblastoma stage 4 in 2 years. I have recently been diagnosed with nodules on my thyroid, which I have to get checked regular. And I work in the Riverport area. I've come out of my job to the smell that is so bad I think I'm in Spanish Village, and I'm next to the amphitheater. I've talked to my company owners about what's going on over there, and they say, it's fine, it's on the other side of the highway, it won't affect us. I worry because we've had so many cancers in my building, and I wonder, is that effect from the landfill? I think more awareness needs to be brought to the people in the community about what's going on, so workers can be prepared along with the people that live in the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next speaker is Karen Nickel.
I just have a couple things. First of all, the moms are talking with Senator McCaskill's office. Right before the election, she had promised the moms that she would meet with us to discuss Westlake. We talked to her personally. We have been trying to get that meeting scheduled with her, and it's been about 2 months now, and we still haven't heard back. We've been making phone calls. I called again today. One of the things that I think that the council can maybe help with is, can you help push in that area? Can you help get us a meeting with Senator McCaskill, as she promised the moms? And the other thing that, I'm sorry.
I'll call her office for you. That's not a problem at all.
Thank you.
And I'll do that tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay.
The other thing is, you just can't let this fire hit the waste. You just can't. And if that's an option for these agencies or anybody else behind the scenes, it cannot happen. This community will not let that happen. And that's it. Thank you.
Next speaker is Dawn Chapman.
I really want to first thank you guys. Karen and I had back-to-back meetings today with St. Louis County, this morning with the LEPC emergency response, and then this afternoon with Dr. Kahn and his staff at the health department. You know, I understand. I see now for the first time that you guys are really stepping forward and that stuff is happening, and that's very exciting. But what I really want to reiterate what Karen said, you know, there's talk behind the scenes that there may be no way of stopping this fire. And I personally, I want to encourage St. Louis County, even if EPA comes back and says nothing happens when the fire hits this waste, I can't believe there's a single person in this room that would raise their hand and say they believe that. And I don't think there's a single person that's willing to take that chance. I think we saw with Coldwater Creek that sometimes people think things are safe, and then years later they come back and studies are done and it shows that it's not. You know, we talked about the whole sheltering in place this morning, and we have even a brochure here for kids. I want you guys to look at this kid brochure. I think this is a wonderful resource that St. Louis County's doing. It's a great way to pass the education. But guys, we're going to pass this out in St. Louis County schools. This is going to go home, and your kids and your grandkids, they're going to have to learn how to shelter in place from an emergency at this landfill. I mean, that's got to blow you guys away. I know it as wonderful of a resource as it is, it really shocked me this morning because I never in my life thought living in St. Louis County we would be faced with this. And for me, I know there's behind the scenes extensive work going down with the DNR and the Attorney General's office, But we really need you guys to get behind them and push as hard as you can. This barrier that they want to put in, we will not even have the second phase of testing done to even show a clean line until late August, early September. I got that from EPA today. I understand engineering takes time, but the fire waits for no one. So please, whatever you guys can do to ensure that that doesn't happen, even if it's a written statement, St. Louis County does not need to let this fire hit this waste under any circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Tammy Shea.
Hi there. Thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate this time. I don't live in the area. I live in District 7, actually, but I'm very concerned about this longstanding problem. You have a landfill with radioactive waste, which is obviously very concerning, but you also have other contaminants associated with landfills, toluene, benzene, dioxins, and furans. This is a regional problem, is the way I see it. The assigned entities, the EPA and the DNR, have not proactively coordinated their efforts to protect those living closest to the threat, or those who will be impacted should the unthinkable happen, which is what Dawn just described, the fire reaching the radioactive material. Radioactive materials have already been demonstrated to have reached off the site, so they're migrating. There appears to be an unwillingness on the part of EPA to acknowledge certain data and have failed to recognize the imminent danger this entire region faces. I'm here to verify that when environmental problems of this magnitude, with a long-standing political history as this one has, the EPA moves very slow or not at all. EPA's Region 7 history for this area has not been a glorious one. I've worked over the past 25 years trying to get accountability from them regarding the Russell Bliss sites and then the incinerator that was subsequently built to handle that. And I can tell you from personal experience that they are a juggernaut of an agency, and I understand that we need them and there are good people there, but from a political standpoint, they hunker down and protect things that they shouldn't. No doubt the Missouri Department of Health has recognized the need for more health studies with regard to Coldwater Creek. My suggestion for the county's role here would be to consult with the community members that you're hearing from, that you see here tonight, analyze the data and recognize the deficiencies in the responses to that data, consider the appropriate actions that the county government can take to protect this population beyond that of health studies. Be willing to stand up for the people of St. Louis County and to stand up to EPA and the state when they drag their feet. This region has burdened the cost of this uncontained radioactive waste site for far too long alone. Your moment to help has come. It's now. And if you're not sure about the seriousness of this matter, then you haven't spent enough time with the facts. And I'm sure that when you do, that you will come to appreciate the threat. And I will leave you with this quote, one of my favorites: "The hottest places in hell are reserved for those who in time of great moral crisis choose to remain neutral." Thank you.
Next speaker is Tom Sullivan.
I'll summarize at the end.
I mean, I met with my departments today, and we've all kind of worked together on this.
Mr. Chairman, getting information from County Executive Stinger or the County Executive's office has proven to be a difficult task. Mr. Stinger is not big on communications or providing information to the public, as we saw again tonight at the County Executive's report, on particular matters. It would be nice if the County Executive could give a definitive position on where he stands with public funding on the proposed football stadium. Last month, his Director of Communications, Cardell Whitlock, said Mr. Stinger did not believe a vote was needed for any county funding. The following week, in a letter in the Post-Dispatch, the County Executive says he has always favored a vote. Just recently, he said his preference would be for a vote. On February 12th, I requested a copy from the County Executive for any memorandum, opinion, etc. from anyone in Columbia Capital that relates to the matter of funding for the new stadium in St. Louis. Columbia is the county's advisor. There has been no response. I've asked County Executive Stinger to provide an update on the temperature control problems at the Pine Lawn Health Center, but Mr. Stinger has had nothing to say about it. It took several tries, but I finally got the names, titles, and salaries of everyone working in the County Executive's office. It's odd that John Saraceno would be appointed Director of Constituent Services beginning January the 1st at $130,000 a year, and no announcement was ever made. It only became known in the Post-Dispatch article earlier this month. Last week, I mentioned a January 28th article in the Call about the county executive's office contacting Venky Palamon, vice president of the Melville School Board, who was interested in being the Democratic candidate for the 6th District County Council seat. He said he was told not to seek the nomination. I requested to know who in the county executive's office contacted Mr. Palamon, but still have no response. I asked the county executive's office if one of the county executive's assistants is related to Attorney John King, who perhaps handles more zoning proposals in the county than any other lawyer, and if they practice in the same law firm. I got no response from the county executive's office, but I sure did hear from John King. He said Jeff Wagner, the director of policy in the county executive office at $130,000 a year, is his son-in-law, and they once practiced in the same law firm, but not in recent years. 3 weeks ago, the council was addressed by Rodney Krim of the St. Louis Economic Development Partnership. There was also an announcement by Mr. Stenger that $500,000 was approved for demolishing buildings in Ferguson and Dellwood. A request for proposals was sent out to demolish 9 buildings, and bids are due by today. It would be helpful if the council and the public were given updates on what is going on in Ferguson, as there are still questions about what is being done. It's surprising how little interest Mr. Stenger has had in Ferguson. This has been mentioned by some radio talk show hosts. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Matt Levanchi. Ron Levy.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to make a comment about the pay increase of the county employees. I'm not versed on what happened. I do have the Julie's report from October 24th, and I haven't attended any meetings since. I'm concerned if it stands at $7 million, whether it'll have $7 million next year, the year after, in 10 years, will you have $7 million, $70 million, and in 20 years, $140 million to pay this 3% increase this year. And I'm concerned about the county executive's pay. If it's $140,000, the governor, as far as I know, is still $133,000, and the lieutenant governor is fighting over his $86,000 paycheck. And I'm still working on this deal with Chrysler Corporation. I attended a meeting about 6 or 8 years ago. It was a joint tax commission of the legislators, and I testified, and so did, I don't know if his last name was Earls, was there from the county, and the Department of Revenue, T. Young, I think it was his name. And they were saying that the problem was the state that's causing all this problem with our reassessment, especially of the, not only the homes, but the businesses, which I'm involved with a lot of businesses, and they can't pay this $1.70 per $100 of whatever tax this is on the business for nonsense and whatever, but I'm going to continue to work on it, and I'll present something on this issue in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Mona Williams.
Good evening. I brought some pictures with me. My address is 4234 Marlin Drive. My home is adjacent to Metrolink. And for years, we've been waiting to see what's going to happen in our neighborhood in Carsonville, Natural Bridge and Hanley, where all the boarded up homes are. And it's gotten to the point now that people are breaking into the homes that are boarded up. Continuously, I call St. Louis County. They do come out. They come back. They come out and check. They kind of reboard them back up. The house that's one of the pictures I have that's adjacent to my house, I don't know if they kicked the door in, broke the glass, gotten in the house. This has happened at least 6 to 7 times. Makes me nervous. I'm off right now because I've had some surgery. Makes me nervous when I'm geared to go back to work with all these people that are breaking into these houses and everything else. It's gotten to the point now with one of these houses, it is completely fallen apart. They've literally pulled the siding off of these houses. All of our houses were built in about 53, 54, and they have asbestos. And when they removed the house that was next to me, they properly had it removed with asbestos. This house that's fallen apart across from us, it literally, someone has pulled the boards, pulled them off on, I guess it's Umsel Boulevard, used to be Geiger, 8206, 8204, and 8208. They have broken into these houses continuously. I don't know if it's just vagrants that are getting in there or not, but, you know, we've just been waiting to find out exactly what's going on in our area. Hazel does keep us informed. We feel like we are the forgotten few. They're doing now construction now on Hanley, almost adjacent to the 5th Express Scripts that they've built. And, you know, and I'm glad to see that area that's building up, you know, before you get to Scudder. But as far as Hanley and Natural Bridge, all the way through to Hanley and Umsel Boulevard, it has just become a mockery. I feel like we're just being left for our homes to be blighted, for someone to purchase our homes and tell us through eminent domain that they're going to take our properties. And I'm pretty frustrated. We've had 3 neighbors that have lived there for 50 years. They've now passed. We're getting a lot of renters in there, and it's just gotten to the point now that my dog got loose a couple of weeks ago at night. I went down the street to see where my dog was. I got him back in the house. It wasn't even 3 minutes later. There was 8 gunshots that rang. I called St. Louis County. They did come out here. A couple of days later, same thing happened again as far as the gunshots. You know, it's just getting to a point that you just don't know what to do, what's going to happen in our area, what's going to happen in our neighborhood. And I just would like to have some type of information on what's going to happen. This is St. Louis County's area. I'm sorry.
Well, that's fine.
No, even though it's St. Louis County area, I just really would like to know what's going to happen in the near future.
Thank you.
I want to leave these pictures.
Ma'am, if I may, we have an individual that heads up our community, well, is involved in heading up our community empowerment division. Anthony Bedino is back there. If you'd stop and talk to him, Anthony, would you raise your hand? If you'd stop and talk to him before you leave,
sure,
he can help you with some of those issues, and he's directly in my office, so he can help you out there, okay?
Would I give these to him?
Yes, please do, and that would be great, and if, we'll make sure the council gets a copy as well, okay? But he'll talk to you and hopefully address your issues, and if, he'll stay in touch with you, okay? Thank you.
Go ahead.
I'd just like to comment on a couple of things and thank the folks in my district who came to talk about the landfill tonight. I think you'll find the county and the administrative offices a lot more responsive on all of these issues. As far as the meeting with Senator McCaskill goes, I'm sure we can facilitate that, and if our schedule allows, I'd like to be involved in it as well. We did pass a resolution for the second time asking for the Corps of Engineers to take over management of the site, and we will continue to press that issue. But I think in general, you'll find that we share a lot of your concerns. I have talked to Dr. Khan about the sulfur dioxides and their effect on reactive airway disease such as asthma, and we understand that link, and we are concerned about that incidence in the surrounding areas, and we're talking about how to manage that and what the right response is.
And if I can add as well, I know you spoke with the departments under my charge today, and they certainly appreciated you coming out and speaking with them and relaying your concerns. You know, and I've been talking with you for a number of months now, and when I was on the council, I of course was as helpful as I very well could be, and it will continue as county executive as well. You know, Dr. Khan is fully engaged, as you know, and we will remain and continue to be engaged. With respect to the conversation with Senator McCaskill, I would love to be part of that conversation as well. If there's a meeting that is to be had, I'd certainly like to be there as well. So you certainly have my support, and I don't want to speak for the entire council, but I believe that the resolutions that we passed in the past relating to the landfill received unanimous support, if I recall correctly.
Right. Yes.
They did. So you have our support. You will continue to have our support, I believe. And you're, of course, welcome to come to any meeting and voice your concerns, and you have our ears.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one quick comment on public forum. I just want to acknowledge or thank members of the Ferguson Commission that are here this evening. I know you're attending in case there was questions of this council or anybody. So thank you for coming, and hopefully you'll continue to move forward with the commission. Introduction of bills.
Bill number 35, introduced by Councilmember Page, an ordinance providing for a boundary adjustment between the City of Creve Coeur and St. Louis County and authorizing certain actions to be taken with regard to such adjustment. Bill number 36, introduced by Councilmember Dolan, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with Donald Lindhorst, Ph.D., for evaluation of the 16th year of the Choices Substance Abuse Recovery Program at the Buzz Westfall Justice Center. Bill number 37, introduced by Councilmember Dolan, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with QPIC LLC for development and administration of a lean government training program for staff of the Department of Administration. Bill number 38, introduced by Councilmember Dolan, an ordinance amending ordinance number 25,918 by repealing and reenacting sections 1 and 2 pertaining to a grant from the Missouri Department of Public Safety for support of the multi-jurisdictional drug task force. Bill number 39, introduced by Councilmember Dolan, an ordinance amending ordinance number 25,942 by repealing and reenacting sections 1 and 2 pertaining to authorization of the Director of Revenue as trustee to grant property rights to Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District on, over, and under a portion of land acquired at the August 1973 tax sale for construction of a sanitary relief project. Bill number 40, introduced by Councilmember Dolan, an ordinance amending Title 12 St. Louis County Revised Ordinances 1974's amended traffic code by enacting and adding one provision to Schedule 9. Bill number 41, introduced by Councilmember Dolan, an ordinance amending Chapter 611 Animal Control Code, Title 6 St. Louis County Revised Ordinances 1974 is amended by enacting Section 611.250 pertaining to the establishment of an Animal Care and Control Advisory Board and membership duties and obligations related thereto. Mr. Chair, that is all the bills.
Perfection of bills.
Bill number 8, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Hold, please.
Bill
number 8 is held.
All right, excuse me. Bill number 231, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
Please hold bill number 231, and that will be the order.
Bill number 27, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
Also hold bill number 27, and that will be the order.
Bill number 28, introduced by Councilmember Harder.
I move to perfect bill number 28.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 28 is perfected.
Bill number 29, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
I move to perfect bill number 29.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Bill number 29 is perfected.
Bill number 30, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
I move to perfect bill number 30.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 30 is perfected.
Bill number 31, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
I move to perfect bill number 31.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 31 is perfected.
Bill number 32, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
I move to perfect bill number 32.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 32 is perfected.
Bill number 33, introduced by Councilmember Harder.
I move to perfect bill number 33.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 33 is perfected.
Bill number 34, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
I move to perfect bill number 34.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 34 is perfected. Final passage of bills.
Bill number 263, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
Please hold.
Bill number 263 is held.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 3, introduced by Councilmember Wassinger.
Hold, please.
So ordered.
Bill number 23, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
I move for final passage of bill number 23.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on Bill number 23, there are 6 ayes.
Bill number 23 is finally passed.
Bill number 24, introduced by Councilmember Page.
I move for final passage of bill number 24.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Erby? Aye. Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on bill number 24, there are 6 ayes.
Bill number 24 is finally passed.
Bill number 25, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
I move for final passage of bill number 25.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Erby? Aye. Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on bill number 25, there are 6 ayes.
Bill number 25 is finally passed.
Bill number 26, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
I move for final passage of bill number 26.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Erby? Aye. Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, on bill number 26, there are 6 ayes.
Bill number 26 is finally passed.
We've gone to resolutions. Mr. Chair, we have 4 this evening. Resolution number 1,
I
introduced
move
by
to
Councilmember...
adopt resolutions number 1 through 4. These are honorary resolutions for the Kirkwood DePere Area Chamber of Commerce Annual Awards.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Erby? Aye. Councilmember Page?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, resolutions number 1 through 4, there are 6 ayes.
Resolutions 1 through 4 are adopted.
I'm moving on to unfinished business. Mr. Chair, item number 1, second district,
Please drop from the order of business.
So ordered.
and we have no items under new business this evening, Mr. Chair.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned.